Alrighty, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will probably just put the tail shaft in. I'm going to do the fuel pump as well, which requires taking out the whole rear seats, which isn't that bad anyway, and then pulling the center unit out and that, and yeah, fitting the pump up in there. But yeah, I got the tail shaft done, so got it done for, man, these prices on these tail shafts are absolutely outrageous these days. About 5 years ago, before COVID, when I built the S13, I got the tail shaft done for a BARRA, like a T56 into a S13 diff, about 1.2 meters long, I think it was, and it was $450 back then. This time I've got it to a TR60 to the like the GT86 diff, which is like common Toyota diff flange, common TR60 box, and it's only 1200 long, and it's a single piece, the same. It's cost me around $1,200 pretty much, which is literally 3 times the price nearly. So that's after COVID prices for you on a tail shaft, which is insane, but you got to have it. And I'm pretty happy with how they built it as well. I'll show you. But this is the shaft here. They actually have some decent sized unis on here. I have had people build tail shafts before, and they just put like some weaker stuff in there. I told them it was for a drift car, something making a bit of power. Like, I got them to build it for around 600 horsepower, even though I'm only going for 450 around them. But man, that's way overbuilt, I reckon. I used to have a 1,000 horsepower built tail shaft, and I reckon they were probably the same size unis in that, and it's pretty heavy, so I reckon they've used some pretty decent metal in there. But yeah, they make you sign a waiver and all this stuff now as well, to say that it's for a performance vehicle and it's not standard, and 5,000 RPM limiter, as in 5,000 RPM, like on the tail shaft, which is about, I think it's like 220 kilometers an hour or something, which I'll probably get to, but surely, hopefully it won't break. But it looks good enough to do the job. From what I know about tail shafts, that thing's pretty overbuilt for what I'm going to do. So I'll slap the car back up on the hoist, and because I took it off after I did the suspension last time, I'll throw it back on, throw the tail shaft in, and then hopefully it fits. Because if it doesn't fit, I might be a little bit angry. But yeah, we'll get it up there and get it in, and I'll show you. Hopefully the old bolts fit and everything. Yeah, I need to get some bigger like 10 mil bolts for in there. But yeah, these ones are just flopping around. They're only like an 8 mil or something. I was worried if it was going to hit like here, because it was a lot thicker of a drive shaft, but it seems like it's all good. So yeah, drive shaft is in. Just need to find the axles. Yeah, I'm trying to find the axles for it, but man, the turbo ones are hard to come across. Even the IS300 axles are hard to come across, like with the stub axles and that. Like, I'm trying to find them, but it's proven to be quite the find. So I'll leave them. Like, that'll be the last bit of the drive line to hook up, really. Alright, so I just put 2 bolts in here that I just found that fit from a toolbox. So I'll just leave them in there so it doesn't all wobble around and that. I'll get it back on the ground now. And I'll start doing the fuel pump. Alright, so I'm inside and I've taken the rear seat out, which is pretty easy. You just pull the bottom up and you undo 4 bolts, and then on the back side, and then you lift the back side up as well, like towards the rear window, and they'll just unclip, and then you can get these. So the 4 bolts were just there and there, and then they just pull up from here. Same with the front ones, they just pull up, and you do the bottom first. And then there's these covers on here. I just took this one to look at what's going on here, but yeah, this one's just stuck on over this, so you literally just pull at it, and then this sticky stuff will just come off. Now you got one plug in here, and you also got these 2 hoses here that you undo, and then that should be it. I'll pull this part out, and then I'll show you once it's on the bench. Okay, I got the fuel pump assembly out. God damn, man, this thing looks brand new. Like, look at the hose clamps. But yeah, all I have to do now is change this pump. I got a Walbro 460 to go in it. Walbro 460. I will have to wire this up to here. I might actually just drill this pop rivet out. Same with this one, because I want the full, you know, this wire is like the same friggin' size, man. I thought you're supposed to get like some decent sort of wiring with it. Could just solder it on up there or something, instead of cutting it and, I mean, drilling it all out and everything. I don't know. That connector there was so tight. This one is so tight, like I've actually bent it there. You see it's like bent, just to try and get it undone, man. They must have done that up to friggin' FT. But yeah, we'll start pulling it apart. Alright, so I got the pump on there. I don't know whether that's going to be too low and hit the bottom of the tank, but whatever, we'll see when it gets in there. This is the only way it'll go anyway, to line up with the hose. If I got a ring terminal, I might just put the ground on that one. And then, man, I might just do this one as well and just put it on there, so I know that they're done inside the tank. Never have to worry about it then. Alright, so it's in there. Yeah, got the hose clamp on the bottom, just holding it on there. I've got the hose clamps done up. I've rewired new terminals and pop riveted them on there, both sides, so the new wiring is all the way to the top. The only bit of old wiring is that one that goes to that little box there. I've tried to put the wires so they will just be in the pump like area, because you don't want the wires like floating around inside, because it might like attach to the sender unit or something, that, and your tank might show different fill points. Like it might say it's like half full if the wire's like catching it or something when it's empty. But yeah, just I'll try to throw it back in the car now, and then that should be it. I can see why they say that it doesn't like they don't really like what do they call it? Like you don't get any surging when you're drifting or anything, because there's like pretty much a pot in there that this where the pump sits. It's like a liter. It's probably like a liter of fuel pot. So it's like, you know, it's got baffling in there for that anyway. So that's why they don't like fuel surge while you're drifting or anything. That's good. That means you don't really have to run a surge tank or anything like that. I'm just scared about this line here too, because it's plastic, so I'm probably going to have to upgrade all these to E85 E85 fuel line, sorry. But yeah, I'll throw it in there. Alright, went back in. Did feel like the bottom touched the bottom of the tank a little bit, like the sock on there. It's probably sitting like pretty flush on the bottom, but that's probably good. Hopefully it's just not closed up, but I don't know, we'll figure that out later date, I suppose. That'll be future Scott's problem if that happens, so should be alright. I don't think it touched too much, but yeah. That's the fuel pump done, tail shaft in. I'll show you this. I sorted this out off camera. So that's what I was talking about. That's the new one. The radiator hose. I've sorted the back one too to go up to the heater tap. Yeah, I just cut this pipe here at the end, and then used two hoses. One's from the Falcon and one's from the JZX, and then I put a little joiner in there, and it worked mint. But yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. That's sitting awesome. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later, Simon.